Hey guys, it's Travis again at Rob Family Farm. Um, just out here, I got a lot of little things to do, trying to straighten it up a little bit. Now that we got all the honey pulled, all the supers pulled, and extracted and bottled, and trying to get rid of that, selling it. But if any of y'all want any, comment. I can get you some if you're local. I could possibly ship you some if you're not. I do ship for a living, so got plenty to get rid of right now. But what I've got here in these boxes right here, those are the last 15 frames I had extracted. Now I'm setting them up for a day before dark today. I'll take them and put them in the freezer. But right now I'm letting the bees clean them out. Ended up we lost 2 hives, as I've told y'all. The other one, this one right here, that one right there is weak, and I think it's a laying worker. I think the queen either died or is gone, and she didn't make one before. They may have swarmed, not sure. They got population, but not enough, so for right now, I took 2 brood. The one next to it right here is really strong. So that one right there. So I took 2 brood. If you got wind noise, I'm sorry. It's breezy, thank goodness today, because it's like 85 degrees. But I took 2 frames of brood out of that one and put into that one. Took them out of this one, put them into that one to help the population, to keep the wax moths and hive beetles at bay for right now. All of these do have beetle blasters in them. And that one I'm actually putting a beetle barn in it probably this evening, here in a little while, about an hour or so. I'm gonna put a beetle barn in it just because the population is down a little more than I like. I'm gonna give it till next Saturday, which is 7 days. It'll be 10 days from when I put the 2 frames of brood in it. And next Saturday, I'm gonna go in it, find a queen if she's in there. If there's not one in there, I'm gonna go buy one from a local guy, just so I can have one now. I don't want to wait. I think it takes like 20 days or something for a queen to. If I was to make a nuke box, pack it out to make a queen, it'd take me like another month. So that'd be another month gone from them to build up for winter. And I don't want to lose any more. I'm down to 10. And I'll probably split, make a couple nukes or something, not sure yet. But the other thing you might see different is all of the bee stuff is gone. The pallets of all the old boxes that were covered in the tarp. I've got all of it because it had a lot of old unguarded by bees wax in a lot of those boxes and stuff. So that might have been what attracted some wax moths to this area. So I've got it moved to the barn inside. That way, rain or shine, rainy days, I can go down there and start cleaning that stuff up, which I'm going to start this evening. My daughter's going to work on it this week. She's out of school, and she's helped me already before, scraping some of them frames, cleaning them up and stuff. So she's going to help me a little this week, get some of those frames. I'll show you all that in a minute. But on the other hand, the garden's doing really good. Some of them. The bean plants down here on the end, I think they kind of got choked out by the weeds for a little bit, but we've got it weeded back. We've started getting the control of it. We let it go for a while. Just got busy doing other stuff. But sunflowers are doing great. Corn, I don't know if it's going to grow or not, or if it's too close to the sunflowers. You can see it down through there. I think next year we're going to separate it probably a whole 3 feet from the sunflowers. So instead of putting it here, it'll actually be planted in this row. And then you've got this row of, I think that's okra. And the squash has been going crazy. I don't know how many buckets she's pulled off the squash already this year. And there's plenty to pull today. That's the beans right here. These are all beans. And we don't know if we got bush beans or running beans, whatever. We don't know. I mean, they got beans on them, so. But we got the weeds weeded back, as you can see. So maybe they'll start coming on a little more. And I honestly don't know what this is. This is the cucumbers starting to come on. And then I think all of this is cucumbers. We've got some cabbage that kind of got ate by, I don't know if it's rabbits or bugs or what. We've got some jalapeno plants right here. And then carrots are way down there on the end, the same row as the jalapenos, but on the end. And then tomatoes. I've started caging them up. And then cherry tomatoes, that big bunch of stuff that the pigs had ate and put in the ground or whatever, are going crazy. They're actually putting off a bunch of cherry tomatoes. I'm glad the cucumbers are coming on now. I'm ready for some pickles. Not a big cucumber fan, but I like pickles. So the garden's doing good now that we've got it halfway under control. I'm getting rid of my rest of my bee boxes, taken down to the barn. I've got all the extractors washed up, the hive butlers washed up. I've got all the cappings in my boiling pot so I can boil that down and render some wax out of it. And I've got a few, probably 2 more boxes here, and a bucket of frames and a swarm trap right here. Get that loaded on the truck and taken down to the barn so I can get all this stuff cleaned up and figured out how I'm going to keep the wax moss out of it. we got the all the bee stuff loaded. I'm gonna use this old crate. I got it from work. Used it to pile that. If y'all seen about 6-8 months ago, we got all that bread and sweets from the church, and I piled it all in there. It kind of kept it till I could get it all fed to the hogs. But got it on there. What I'm gonna use is, I got a bunch of, see that small wood right there, all that little scraps of plywood. I saved it. I could use it for building swarm traps or who knows what, but it's good wood, so I save it. And I got a pile there, I got a pile on that side of the building, I got a pile in the barn. I think I'm gonna take this to the barn and keep it upside down like that. You see it's got a pile on the bottom, so it'll keep all the wood off the ground, keep it dry. And I'm gonna pile all that wood in there, just sort it, that way I can have somewhere it's all at, and if I need to dig through it, I can just flip through it in there. But I'm gonna take that load to the barn, try to organize down there a little bit. But right now, every time the wife goes to cut grass, this tire, the front right tire on this lawnmower, I know we need a new one, but I ain't buying one right now. So it's flat every time. Every 3 or 4 days it goes flat. And so I just sprayed it with some, actually, orange cleaner in that bottle. Soap or water, whatever you want to use, but you spray the tire down and then it'll bubble where the problem is. And so the problem on this one is right there. I think it's actually got 2 puncture marks right there and right there. So I'm going to plug those 2. I'm actually going to use half a plug since it's such a little tire and everything. But I'm going to plug them, and then we will, let me get my plug set up and I'll pick y'all back up. So what I do is take your plug and you put it through here, through this little tool, and you fold it over, crimp it together, and then I put some rubber cement on the edge of it. That'll help seal it. And then you take this tool, I guess you call it a reamer or something, you put it in there just in case the hole's not big enough. Put it in there. It'll make the hole big enough to get your, so you ease it in there. There you go. Now it's plugged. And now I will take a razor knife and cut off the excess. Alright, I sprayed it. Right, there's the plug. No bubbles. And I do have one spot right here. You see that little bit of bubbling coming up? I think it's just a cut because this tire is so wore out and thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get a can of Fix-A-Flat and spray about half of it in this tire. But that, when I put the plug in, was probably the biggest of the holes. So should be good. I'll grab a can of Fix-A-Flat this weekend, put it in there, and then we don't have to worry about it. I'll probably by next winter get a new set of front tires for it. Back tires still got decent. And this is that lawnmower that I had bought 2 of these for $100. And it smoked a little, but the main thing was this plate right here. These screws right here, this adjusts this plate. And if it's not just right, this plate adjusts this way, back and forth. And if it's not just right, this shifter won't shift like it's supposed to. So it gets stuck and forward and back, and I had to adjust that. Other than that, it drove fine. It smoked. So over the winter, before we started the spring, I took it to the lawnmower shop and had them rebuild it. Rebuild the motor. They just put a new seal kit in it. And it was burning a little oil. Other than that, it runs good. I got another set of blades down in the barn. I may end up hitting tonight, getting them sharp, getting them changed out on here. Those are getting a little a little ragged. But now we're gonna take this load to the barn, see about getting it unloaded and sorting some stuff out. All right, guys, I got the truck down here with that load of stuff on it. I've already got the box I was telling you, and got some of the wood in it and stuff. As you can see, it's stacked up there. Now I'm gonna finish unloading these bee boxes. You can see here's all my bee stuff. All this and all of that is stuff that I've got to take frames out of and scrape. It's pretty nasty. When I start sitting down to do that, I will video some of it so y'all can see how bad it is. I don't know if I should just throw it all away or what, but that's a lot of money sitting there, just the boxes. But anything that's really bad, hive moth has eaten the frames or the boxes or anything, I'm burning. But if the hive moth has just gotten into the comb, I'm gonna scrape the comb. We're gonna try to clean any foundation frames and then reuse what we can. What we can't, I'm not taking chances if it's any beat up or anything. But the older wood and stuff is probably better. The bees will probably like it better. It's not new smelling wood, it's the older stuff. So I'm gonna finish unloading this truck, and then we will get to the next task, which might be, as far as I know, I think I'm gonna try to hook the air compressor up, wired into the breaker box. I've got it. I took the tractor just now with the forks and pulled it. I got a stand-up air compressor that my brother had given me, that my dad had given him. And I'm hoping it still works. It probably ain't been plugged up in 2-3 years, but it's been undercover. So I've got it down close to the basement. I'm gonna try to move it closer to the basement door, cover it up for now, and then wire it to the breaker box. That way I got an air compressor here, because hand pumping the tractor tires, car tires, and stuff like that is just, with a little foot pump, ain't no fun. So that's probably gonna be my next task, but we'll see after we get the truck unloaded. Now it looks a mess out here. One thing I got to do is get some cross bracing on this barn. And I think what I'm gonna do is run some high tensile wire from one corner way over there all the way diagonal to up there, and then do the same thing, just 2 of those across. And then on the front here, I may run from up there across or something, just to give it some rigidity, because when the spring thunderstorms hit, I don't want this thing blowing over, and right now there's really no rigidity to it. It's just a roof on some toothpicks. Once I get some actual walls on or some kind of structure, it'll help out a lot. So that's probably something I'm going to focus on here in the next week. But for now, I've got to move, but I think I'm going to wait till this evening. I'm going to move the donkey barn, that, and that over to the new pasture over here, probably just right in there somewhere. Put probably the feed trough or something right there, and a donkey barn a little out from it, just right next to each other. Probably looking at it, I'll probably put the donkey barn closest to the fence right there, and then on the other side the feed trough. That way, if it ain't real bad raining, we can leave them over here and they can get under the shelter of the feed trough or the donkey barn. If it storms real bad, I'll let them back in this pasture. Otherwise, I want to leave them back there. That stupid rooster crows if I'm out here constantly. But that way we can more so leave them back there more often and not bring them over here every night. And she could feed them and everything back over there. But I think I'm going to do that later this evening when she feeds. Once she gets done feeding, I think I'll pull them all over there, because I don't want to open that fence right now and try to fight them and pull stuff through it at the same time. So, told you, constantly if I'm out here that thing's crowing. So for now, let's go see if we can get this air compressor moved into place and see if it might be possible to get it wired up today. While I'm out here, I'll show you all the babies. I got that piece of tin holding to keep any wind off of them when it, or rain blowing in there. But still got all of them alive, so which is a good thing. I'm excited about that. I'm gonna I figured I'd go ahead and check them and feed them real quick and water them just to keep them healthy. We'll probably keep them in here another probably 2 weeks before we let them out with the big chickens, but we'll see depending on how they grow. This is actually going to be the first laying hens that we put out, so I don't want to, these I want to keep for years, so I want to protect them as much as possible. So we'll see 2 weeks how they look. But let me see if I can get in here and I don't have the water turned on to the barn, so I'm going to use the water bottle that I got down here. Now, we got some food and water, so they'll be good. All right, guys, got the panel cover off, and got the wire run over down into the box, and this bottom double pole breaker is one that ran a electric heater over in the master bedroom. We don't use it anymore, so I unhooked that. It's only temporary anyway. Once I get some power to the barn, the air compressor's going to the barn. So got it wired in there, and then I've got it run all the way over here. And what I'm going to do, because like I said, it's temporary, is I'm going to drill a small hole right here and just run it out there, and I'll silicone it in. Once we get the power outside, I'll cover that hole up, patch it or whatever. But for now, it'll work.
Yeah, Lauren got on my back and she was like, "Eow."
Thought she was a donkey too.
And she calls me Annie and Coco.
Annie and Coco.
Just come on, Coco.
Hope it works.
I had nothing cleaning on it to do it.
No, I've cleaned the building out. I've moved the rest of my bee stuff to the barn. You come out here.
This one is going up for a dog today. She was a small one. It's free and the cab and somewhere else.
Alright, it's kind of tight back here, guys, so you're going to see a lot of my face. Come here, hold this. Let me go. get cold?
Mm-mm.
All right. Getting closer, closer, closer. All right, guys, had to stop for a minute to do something. So I'm back. Oh, trying to get this. So I got one of the connectors on.
Where's the drill at? It's only a flashlight.
There ain't a drill over there on the deep freezer?
It's just a flashlight.
It might be there. Find it?
Why don't the button press?
It's locked. These things, if you get them straight in the middle, it won't press. No. You see all the bee stuff down there?
Yeah. That's where I thought you were. I thought you were like cleaning all of it out, but
Start. I just need to get some other little projects done today, so.
just so I was down. I come down there to help you. I heard you. What's that?
Chickens. Fat window.
Your honey's $8, right?
Yeah.
Because Miss Wanda and Brittany asked me how much it was today. And I was like, I believe it's $8.
Let me see. Ain't got it on yet. Let's see.